Next on our list, the big effort to keep those roads passable. Crews pre-treated area roadways yesterday before the snow started, and they've been hard at work again today. Behind me, this is some video, as a matter of fact, of TDOT crews loading one of their salt trucks to get it ready to head up to Newport in Knox County. Now, these trucks go around heavily traveled areas, spraying the salt brine that you see being loaded into the truck on the roadways. There's some salt that they're dumping for you right now. This makes for some much safer driving conditions when all of that is out on the roadways doing what it needs to do. Another TDOT truck was spotted on 75 in Campbell County, and with the expected overnight temperatures, crews still have some work to do there. Over the last 2 days, TDOT crews in Region 1, which includes 24 East Tennessee counties, have covered over 35,000 miles of roadways, but it's an ongoing process with the change of refreezing the chance rather of refreezing overnight.
Well, we're continuing to monitor weather forecasts, and we'll adjust as necessary, but that possibility of refreezing certainly is there, with a little more precipitation depending on which part of our region we're talking about. Some of those higher elevations, parts of Knox County, Sevier County, Campbell County, Scott County. These are some of the areas that we expect to have a little more winter weather.
And, you hear this reminder from us and from first responders anytime we see challenging weather. It's safest to stay off the roads if you don't have to be out and traveling. Big precautions being taken for our roads in Knox County as well. The Public Works Department plans to keep working into the night. The department cautioned us it can only do so much, urging the need for drivers to be, again, extra cautious.
Some of the things that we apply, like salt, it has a limited effectiveness below, when you get to those kind of temperatures. So we'll still be out, we'll still be applying salt in those areas. But yeah, certainly be on the watch for areas where it's really shaded, there's not much traffic and things like that, because we do anticipate some isolated spots still being out there. But like I said, we will be out pretty much mostly all night.
Now, to get ready for today's snowfall, Jim Snowden says crews were out working by 4 a.m. Looking to our north, Jellico was hit hard with winter weather as road conditions have remained pretty hazardous in spots. Mayor Sandy Terry said that the city enacted its emergency action plan last night. Crews have been treating roads from about 3 o'clock this morning.
After I drove to work today, I would not get out. I would just stay home. If you need library services, just call us. We're here. It really was slicker than I thought.
Another reminder, this time from TDOT, as workers put down salt and brine, slow down, give those crews room to do what they need to do and do it safely. More wintry weather bringing more school closures for tomorrow. Knox County schools decided to cancel classes, making the decision. The district citing snow, freezing temperatures, and potentially hazardous road conditions. This closure means the county will only have now one inclement weather day remaining this school year. By the way, the full list of closures across the area scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen. You can also find it anytime by visiting our website at WATE.com. Big help for those who need it on days like today, as temperatures are expected again to continue to drop. The cold weather poses a threat for a lot of people, and according to the Knoxville Fire Department, symptoms of hypothermia can set in just minutes after stepping outside when it is below freezing. And while they suggest layering up and spending time inside, they also urge neighbors to take time and check in on each other. There is also a volunteer group who checks in on people who may be in need of food or other resources. The Mobile Meals volunteers are doing exactly that. With freezing temperatures expected to stick around, they say they are monitoring the weather to see if they will need more volunteers this week. And those who are receiving the meals say they are grateful to know that someone is there for them.
It's a lifesaver, and part of its beauty is that we get a hot meal in the middle of the day and we can snack at night, which I think is preferable to your diet. But they're very generous and cordial, and the food is nutritious, and we feel blessed that we get to do this.
They tell us if it wasn't for the program, they are unsure of where their next meal would come from, especially on days like today. And with cold temperatures expected to last, the Knoxville Fire Department says checking in on neighbors in need could definitely save a life. Well, there are other ways that you can help your neighbors. Local warming shelters need more volunteers. The city says 4 warming centers will be open tonight. All of these centers are looking for volunteers and donations. You can see a list of some of the items they need on your screen, including blankets, non-perishable food. For a link to volunteer at the location closest to you, look for this story on our website, WATE.com. You know, many of you are working to keep your homes warm in this week's bitter cold. Fire officials say something as simple as a space heater or even a fireplace, though, can have dire consequences if not used correctly. That's why they stress the importance of keeping your fireplaces clean and using space heaters safely. Make sure that space heater is a safe distance from any curtains or bedding that could catch fire. Kentucky continues to deal with some big problems tonight. Today, state officials addressed the public about the freezing conditions following a flood that left 14 people dead last week. You know, state leaders said over 200 people are being sheltered across 4 Kentucky state parks. Governor Andy Beshear was joined by Kentucky Transportation Secretary Jim Gray, along with FEMA and others, following overnight snow that left roads dangerous with more snow coming overnight. According to the governor, the state is in the process of applying to FEMA for individual assistance. He also prepped Kentucky citizens for the oncoming freezing temperatures tonight, saying that areas hit hardest by flooding are going to get another 3 to 4 inches of snow tonight. If the snow was not tough enough, it's cold right now and it's going to get dangerously cold tonight. Now, transportation officials said there are still over 200 state and federal roads impacted by hazardous weather conditions in Kentucky.